What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I'm trying to fix my hat because I've abused it so much over the course of the last week or so. You know, it's got this kind of hard front on it here. So every time I slam it, it gets a little bit more bent. As you can see, it's baby's got some bends in it, and I feel like it's going to get a few more today. We've got a returning guest, and we are going to be talking about her journey, getting an update. She's a former saleswoman who's been building her digital marketing business after facing burnout, and which is something that so many of you can probably relate to. My last conversation with her was very empowering and inspiring, and I expect nothing less today, my friends. With that being said, Chelsea, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. And so welcome back. The last time you were on was September 6th, 2023. So we're looking at about 5 to almost 6 months, 5-ish months or so since the last time you were on. Bring us up to speed. What's been going on since the last time that you were on? And then if it makes sense, we can backtrack a little bit. But again, for those of you wanting to know when Chelsea's previous episode was, it was on September 6th. So where are we at now since the last time we talked? How are things going for you?
Yeah, things are going great. So as everyone knows, social media is a big of digital marketing. So I have been super consistent with multiple different social media platforms. And I've been able to grow my Instagram to close to 70,000 followers. And they're all followers within my target audience. So it's really exciting. I'm a stay-at-home mom, which has literally been my dream job for my entire life. And I can kind of update everyone. I quit my job summer of 2023 on a whim, literally put in my 2 weeks, didn't have a backup plan, quit my network marketing company. And I just was like, I'm going to spend the summer with my kids because I was super burnt out. And then that's when a couple weeks later, I was like, okay, I got to make some money. I'm the breadwinner here. So I ended up finding your program, learned about digital marketing. And that's when I realized this was going to be what was going to allow me to stay home with my kids. And here I am. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My son is actually in the other room with strep sick, and I didn't have to call a babysitter or a nanny. I'm able to take care of him.
Eat that hat up a little bit. Chelsea, I'm so happy for you. You know, you're a risk taker. So the fact that you quit, the opposite of what the advice that I always got growing up, which don't quit until you have another job lined up. Well, it sounds like you wanted bigger change than just another job, replacing one thing for another. Yeah. And so that was a huge leap of faith. And then to realize, well, gee whiz, okay, I shot first. I'm asking questions later, and I need to make some money. That was a pretty big decision, though. Looking back on that decision to leave, what did that take? And what was that like?
It took years of burnout. So I was in a corporate sales role and I made a lot of money. So like multiple 6 figures a year at my corporate job. So it was hard to leave because the money was so great. But once I had kids, I had realized I want to stay home, but I don't know how. Like I didn't ever want to put down hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business. I didn't really have the skills. I don't have a degree. So I didn't know where to start. So I dabbled in network marketing for years. I was very successful, but I never felt the stability to be able to leave. And it left me more burnt out than when I began. So, I mean, I finally just got to the point. So I had saved up a lot with the previous year. And before summer, it makes me want to cry, but I looked at my kids and realized, okay, they're 6 and 7 now. Like I only have a certain amount of years left where they're going to want me around during summer. So I prayed about it and I realized that like I was getting pulled in the direction to leave my job. And again, despite the money, it was phenomenal money. So people on the outside didn't understand why I would do it, but I knew that my kids needed me and I wasn't giving work 100%. I wasn't giving my family 100%. And so I knew that my family came first. So I prayed about it, put in my 2 weeks, and I actually left my network marketing company as well. I was so burnt out, and I'm like a really hard worker, and it's hard for me. I go from 0 to 100, and I just burnt myself out. So it was a peaceful decision. It was a hard decision, but I was at peace with it. And I had the best summer of my life. And I'm like, I can't wait for this summer with my kids.
Wow, that's awesome. There's a lot to take away and unpack from that story and that experience. You've got amazing experience to share, and that may be what somebody needed to hear to make a decision. It may also need to be said that everybody's decision about career, about personal relationships needs to be personal to you.
Yeah.
It needs to feel right. And I love how you said, I was at peace with it. I think that's, at the end of the day, it wasn't even money motivated. You were making tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
It was an internal thing. There was something that was missing, and it didn't have anything to do with money. And so let's fast forward now. I love to jump around because we did have you on. And again, if you want to hear more of Chelsea's backstory and origin story, you can go back to that September 6th episode. But you mentioned burnout a couple of times. And it wouldn't be the real raw show that it is if I didn't ask, how is this different than other things that you've done in the past? And how are you avoiding burnout? Is it you? Is it the business model? Talk to us about how you're avoiding doing the same thing again, expecting a different result, or is it not the same thing again?
So the one thing that I love about digital marketing that I feel like I totally missed the boat on with network marketing was the automated systems that you can set up. I didn't know, I knew about an email campaign 2 years ago, but I was like, they don't really work, or they're only for influencers. I had no idea what a funnel was. I didn't know about all of these automated systems. And so when I learned about them, I was like, this makes sense. And then I had issues. I was telling Joanne, I had issues with my Instagram last week, and I was terrified, but it's like, I have thousands and thousands of people that are subscribed to my email that have chosen to subscribe to my email. And that's where most of my sales come from. So I was at peace and still making sales. And so to avoid burnout is that automated system. And yes, I put in the work. Yes, I am a workaholic, but I am able to scale this to be able, I volunteer at my kids' school every single day. We have martial arts every single day. And I'm not working on my phone while I'm there. And that's the biggest difference is I may have been present, but I wasn't mentally present. And that is where I needed the change. I was just because I'm physically with my kids, I'm not mentally there. And I love digital marketing just because the business truly does run when I'm not working. And that wasn't like any other 9-to-5 job I had, or even network marketing. Network marketing is a whole other story, but I think everyone searches for side hustles, and to find one that truly does run on automation when you're not working is the game changer in it all.
Love that. And I do now remember how you were talking about volunteering at your school, your kids' school, back on our previous episode. That was a huge passion of yours. I'm so happy to hear that you're still doing that and getting to pursue that, and that you're able to be present when you're there. For those of you who are listening to Chelsea talk and you're going, okay, that sounds too good to be true. What does she mean by the business is running even when I'm not running it all the time? There's an element of setup that's required. And so that needs to be said. And you need to be aware that there's going to be a learning curve in setting up, getting familiar with a couple of tools, specifically your funnel builder, email autoresponder software, and video. These are the three things that are going to give you the biggest leverage in 2024 on the internet. Video, first and foremost, which we'll talk about here in a second. Video, the ability to be able to hold up your phone, record a 30 to 60 second or whatever video, and have that video be viewed by hundreds, thousands, even millions of people perfectly, time and time again, without you having to remember in network marketing or previous traditional sales. Hey, how you doing? This is Chelsea, just following up, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm going to bring in my sponsor. We're going to do a 3-way call. I want to introduce you to my upline. Oh, you're not interested? Oh, okay. We'll talk to you later. Okay. What's Susie's number? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hey, Susie, how you doing? This is Chelsea. I just wanted to check in to see if you got a chance to be able to try those supplements. That's the difference.
You're giving me PTSD.
I know. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, how's it going? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to this video. I'm going to talk to you about the power of helping get your daughter to sleep at night or son to sleep at night, even if you've not been able to for the first 6 months of their life, using a couple of unique secrets that I'm going to go over. Number one, you record that one time. That's viewed and plays perfectly. Chelsea, this is the thing that I love, and you can appreciate this probably as a salesperson. It never gets tired. The video always plays perfectly every single time, doesn't it?
Yep.
Never complains. Never gets tired, never has to go to the bathroom, never has to take a lunch break. Second of all, we send them from the videos on social media into our funnels. Our funnels capture their email address, which is one of the main functions. That email address goes into our autoresponder so we can email them by typing one email and pressing send, and it goes out to how many people are on your email list at this point?
I just hit 5,000. I know, I just got the little notification. I won a little badge. It was 5,000. So that's really exciting because when I was on here last time, I think I had 300 subscribers. So I'm really happy.
So one email, and you can use an autoresponder in two different ways. Mm-hmm. Okay. One is you can write email messages that every time somebody subscribes, they start getting a series of emails.
Yep.
Every 24 hours, they get an email. Whether Chelsea's sleeping or at school with her kids. Or you can send a broadcast. Hey, I just found this great new product, or I just started using this great new product, or let me tell you a story about such and such. Go and check it out. Affiliate link.
Yep.
Or link to your course, or link to a program, or link to an event. And so this, for those of you who are wondering who might be new, what is she talking about? Those are 3 specific examples of how we use leverage through software and automation. So let's talk about building your audience. You've got 70,000 people. How did you pick your niche to start off with? You said 70,000 people who are in my target audience. How did you go about deciding on who your target audience was going to be before we get into how you've grown that audience?
Yeah. So me personally, even when I did network marketing, I was never selling a product. I was always selling the opportunity. I am a big believer on financial freedom. So I knew when I started, financial freedom, making money, multiple streams of income was going to be my niche. There wasn't even a question. It's what I'm passionate about. I was part of a supplement company before, and I was not passionate about supplements, but I knew there was a business opportunity. So I constantly sold the business opportunity. So my niche is wealth. I am passionate about people finding multiple streams of income. I have 2 parents that had gone bankrupt. So I know how important it is to have multiple streams. You cannot rely on one. And so, it was easy for me, but I do believe you pick something that you love, that you're passionate about, whether you are passionate about fishing, whether you're passionate about makeup, whether you're passionate about fitness. If you are passionate about something, you can sell it. It doesn't matter what it is. I was watching a video yesterday and some guy was in the woods selling poop on a stick, I swear. And we're embarrassed to go in and sell fashion and makeup, but he is confident out in the woods selling, excuse my language, poop on a stick. So it doesn't, as long as you're passionate about it, you can find a way to sell it. So mine's wealth because I'm passionate about financial freedom.
Makes sense. So what was it like for you to begin to film videos and create content? How did you create content in the early days? People think or hear 70,000. They think that, oh, wow, almost, I think there's this kind of assumption that it's always been like that, right? Although you did just let us know that the last time you were on the show, you had 300 email subscribers. Now you have 5,000. What are some of the things, if you could tease out 2 or 3 important learning lessons along the way to launching those first videos, getting your feet wet, and then ultimately growing to build a significant audience, even if you've never done video before. And I'm not sure how much experience you had on video. Sounds like you were
Right.
pretty well experienced in sales, but that can be a different animal than being on video. So what are some of the things that if you could go back and give yourself advice about growing an audience and creating video marketing content, what would you tell yourself?
First off, yes, I have a lot of experience in sales, but marketing, I will say, is completely different. And with digital marketing, you're really not selling anything. So I walked into the mindset, to be quite honest, I was like, very humbled, because I was like, I'm going to become a millionaire really quick doing this. I'm going to get to 100,000 followers. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I was very like, I have been like in the top 1% for over 15 years. I was very humbled to find out my first 20 videos, one person watched it, and no one wants to be sold to. Like, I just need to share an opportunity. So that I had a big learning curve, because I am a sales rep at heart.
Sure.
Like, I remember being in New York City with my mom when I was little, and I was bargaining with like the ladies on the street, and she was like, "You're going to be in sales when you get older." So that is my heart. And so I have totally had to shift to learn how to serve my audience and not sell to my audience. And I think once I made that shift and being like, okay, yeah, I've done sales, but this is not sales. This is like serving people, and finding out what they need and supplying them with information. And I think once I shifted to that is when I really started to grow, and people started to, start following me because they were interested, because people don't want to be sold to. You got to think, like, you get a sales call and like, what do? You hang up usually. You try to be polite. After like the third one, you're like, don't call me again. And you block them. So people don't want to be sold to. They want to learn about an opportunity. You want to learn about people's pain points. You want to serve your audience. And I think once I learned how to do that is when I definitely started to grow. But also, like, starting out, I think people have to realize, like, you are a small fish in a big ocean at first, and Instagram doesn't know who you are. It doesn't know if you're a robot. It doesn't know if you're a spammer, but you have to continue on and be consistent. Like, you have to, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever it is, like, you have to continue on. And I think the majority of the people don't succeed at this solely because they give up. And because so many people, and even me, I don't have the story to where I was broke and now I'm making phenomenal money. I came from the story to where I was making phenomenal money, and I am building a business from the ground up. And even though from the outside, people are like, oh my gosh, she's doing so well. Like, it may not be well for me because what I made at my previous corporate job, but I didn't do this for the money. I did it for the time. And that's something to remember. Like, everyone's journey is going to be different, but as long as you are consistent and as long as you do not give up, whether you have 1 view or 10 views or lose 20 followers, like, you have to continue on, and your people will find you. You will align with the people that you connect with, and that's how you'll be successful.
Love that. And that whole serving, not selling thing is a huge nugget, a big old platinum doggone truckload of nuggets for those of you looking to scoop up some platinum, not even gold this morning, but just some real nuggets. That's a mindset shift. And it really is from the inside out. It's a mental shift.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You go on, you're looking for a quick buck. You said, I'm going to be a millionaire fast. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going to crush this. I've always crushed this. Yep. The money is mine. It's already in my, and it's like, damn, okay, I need to take a step back and I need to reframe how I'm approaching this. I need to look at this differently. Okay, got it. I need to serve and not be so obsessed and focused about making sales or selling. And I think whether you're obsessed with selling or whether you're just obsessed with making sales, which we can all relate to, stepping back and saying, okay, let me set all that aside. Let me serve, and then be what I like to relate this to. When you're creating content and marketing online, you have to be a traffic director. Like, in the the guys who are at the airport, or the gals who they've got the big sticks and they point the planes. Okay, you go down this way, you go down the, come on, come on, come on. And you got to be clear and direct, right? Because you got a big Boeing 747 with a pilot who's listening to you, and you've got 100 or 200 passengers on the plane. So you got to be really clear. You got to be really direct. You can't be like, well, hold on. Okay, come on. Right. You got to be, get that ass, get that butt over here. You're up, you that way, right? So it's about serving. And I loved what Mark said. Nobody wants to be sold to. Everybody wants to be an educated buyer.
Right.
And so educating people actually makes them feel more empowered, makes them feel more confident to make a decision. One thing I learned in sales is that if somebody's educated, they will sell themselves because they feel educated enough to make the decision. They'll feel confident. What you're trying to instill in your prospects is confidence.
Yeah. And you want to be confident. That's the main thing too, is like, if you're not confident, then no one is going to listen. Like, and you have to fake it till you make it. Like I tell everyone that. I'm like, at the very beginning, like, you know, I think a lot of people are like, how do you do it at the beginning? You show up. I go back to the very beginning of my Instagram and I'm like, oh, I'm like cringed at like my videos and, you know, like what they looked like, but you grow and you learn and you keep going. And as long as you're confident, like people are going to listen. If you talk with authority and you talk with confidence and you're educated on what you are presenting, like you don't want to present a product or a service that you haven't used or that you're not confident about, right? Like I'm not going to go start an Instagram and have a fishing niche. Like I'm not passionate about it. My husband is, but I'm not. Like I wouldn't be able to sell it to anyone. I mean, maybe I could. I probably could, but I wouldn't be passionate about it. And I wouldn't be able to confidently like tell you all the different parts and why you should buy it. But if you speak with confidence, like people are going to listen. People are going to listen to you because you have authority. So that is like another thing is like, if you aren't confident, go talk in the mirror, like practice what you're going to say, practice it over and over again. Because the more you say it, the more confident that you are going to be.
Becky says, this has totally taught me confidence. And confidence, I love this topic. I love that you're talking about this. I love that you even said, fake it till you make it. Acting as if is another one. That was what I was told when I was getting clean from drugs in 2008, 15 years ago, was, oh, you want to get clean? You want a different life, Dave? Then act as if you're already clean. Act as if, even if you don't believe it, even if you don't believe you can do this, even if you don't believe you can act as if. What does that mean? Well, that means show up to the meetings, share, participate, show up as if this is your new life. If you want that life, Dave, if you want a clean, productive, peaceful life, free from addiction, free from homelessness, free from drama and trauma, then act as if you're living that life. Act as if you want that life. Act as if that is your life. Start doing the opposite of what you've always did. If you do what you always did, you're going to get what you always got. The same thing applies here.
Yep.
If you've always been meek and I don't mean meek in a humble way. I mean meek in like, I'm afraid I don't think I deserve a space. There's not a seat for me. There's not room for me. Always kind of not thinking that you deserve it, thinking that nobody's going to listen to you, thinking that why bother? Well, do the opposite of that. Act as if. Yep. That's not how you think. That's not what, and do it even if you don't believe it, because you're not going to think yourself into a new way of believing and acting. You're going to act yourself into a new way of thinking and believing. I also learned that in recovery.
Yeah.
That I'm not just going to sit around at my house, on my ass, on my couch and go, my life's perfect. I'm not an addict. I don't have any problems. No, I needed to get up and go to a meeting, go somewhere and help somebody, go somewhere and share, go somewhere and serve, go somewhere and help somebody. And then I would stop feeling like such a loser. I would stop feeling such low self-esteem. Oh, wow. Want self-esteem? Do esteemable things. Same thing in this. If I want confidence, I love that you brought that up. So what are some other confidence building strategies besides just, well, I mean, this is the biggest thing, what you've already covered, but what else has helped you build confidence along the way?
I mean, definitely, like, I feel like a lot of people talk about this, but manifestation, like, I definitely manifest every single morning what I want. I'm a firm believer. I preach to my kids about this. Like, our words have power. And it goes back to, it's biblical, right? Like, your words have power. What you say comes to life. So I am a firm believer in like speaking what I want. I attract money. I'm going to become a millionaire. And even though it may sound crazy to the outside world, like for me, it's what I'm manifesting, and what you speak becomes your reality. So if you say, oh, my Instagram, I'm not going to get any views today. My lives suck. No one wants any of my stuff. No one will ever want any of your stuff. Your Instagram is going to, like, you have to speak it. And if you speak confidence, your soul is going to believe it. And then you're going to sound more confident. So it's like, manifest it, whether you believe it or not. Put it on a sticky note and say it every day. Like, you got to speak positively. And again, like, I talk to my sons about this all the time. I'm like, your words have power. Don't say that. Like, don't speak negatively. Do not say this about yourself. Like, you need to say the exact opposite. Like, if you feel bad about yourself, say the exact opposite. Speak positively, manifest what you want, and your words have power, and you're going to believe what you're saying. So that's why it's so important to, even if the reality looks shitty, even if your reality doesn't look like things are progressing, speak what you want, speak what you believe. And I truly, in my heart, believe that things will change if you continuously speak positively. Yes, you can't sit on the couch eating potato chips all day and trying to manifest if you're not taking action. Like, this obviously takes a lot of work. Any business is going to take work, but add manifestation into hard work, and like, the sky is the limit. I can't hear you, Dave. I don't know if they can.
Because I was muted. Grandpa Dave strikes again with the unable to work the technology on his computer. But check this out. Self-fulfilling prophecy psychology. This is taken right from Wikipedia. A self-fulfilling prophecy is a prediction that comes true, at least in part, as a result, keyword, as a result of a person's belief or expectation that said prediction would come through. Self-fulfilling prophecies are an example of the more general phenomenon of positive feedback loops. Positive feedback loops, negative feedback loops.
Yeah.
Whatever we say, we speak into existence. Our thoughts become words, become our actions, which is also what we then attract back to us.
Yep.
We predict our future much more than we give ourselves credit. That's not to say we should get a God complex. That's not to say that we should, my will be done, and I am so. No, it's just that depending, whatever your spiritual belief is, there is no doubt that we all have self-will. Our own will. We were given our own will. We were given the ability, right? That's the gift that we have. Yep. Or one of the gifts that we were given is that we have our own free will. Now, we can, once we make mistakes, we ask for forgiveness. That's typically how, most spiritual beliefs go. But we're given that free will. And part of the most powerful thing that we have is not even our actions. As you're saying that you share with your kids, it's literally the words that we say. Mm-hmm. So how have you continued to shift and be aware of your words? How have you also, and what have you needed to do in terms of boundaries with other people in allowing their words to infiltrate your eyes and your ears? Have you needed to take any extreme action in any areas of your life, with any relationships? Talk to those people who do have a lot of voices. Maybe they can relate to something that you've done in something that you've used in order to better protect your mindset in this kind of belief system that you're building.
Yeah. So I think one thing that is important is if you are worried about people maybe seeing your Instagram or your TikTok or your Facebook, block them. And that's not like, you don't need to think they're going to be offended. You're doing it to protect your like confidence and your sanity. If you don't want your mom or dad to see you posting, or your best friend from high school, like that is okay. You can block them. You can also, like, I think, set up your accounts with a different phone number, but you could do that. Eventually they're probably going to find you as you're growing, you know? And the biggest thing that I would say is, I actually saw this the other day. It was funny. It was like, if someone's judging you for what you're doing with digital marketing, send them a Vimeo and ask them to pay your bills. And if they don't, like, don't listen to anything that they're saying. So no one else is going to pay your bills except you. And you can either work, I mean, I know for me, I was working like 55 plus hours a week for someone else. I would every day choose to make less than I was making and work for myself, to have the time freedom and not to report to a boss, not to feel like a guy younger than me is babysitting me. Like, it, like, you know how it is. If you have a 9 to 5, like, you have a certified babysitter. It's just, and like, I'm telling you, it is so empowering to start your own business and become your own boss, make your own money. Yeah, I don't have that consistent, I 100% know what I'm going to make every Friday paycheck coming in. And like, I've had to mentally adjust from that, right? But the confidence that when a check comes in, I'm like, I did that. That was me. That wasn't a company like that promised me some salary. Like, I did this for myself. I started a business from zero and I have consistently built it. And it is just super empowering. And I know it'll continue to grow, and it'll grow for anyone on here that stays consistent. And, you always want to reevaluate your stuff, right? Like, say you're watching right now and you're like, but Chelsea, I've been doing this for 5 months and no one's looking at my content. I'm not making any sales. Well, you do want to reevaluate stuff. Like, maybe it's not working for a reason. Go back and look at your content that got the most likes or the most interactions, or maybe go look at someone within your niche and see content that they're doing that people are responding to, and you'll understand what maybe you need to do differently. But it only doesn't work if you stop working. So I feel like I always get off on a tangent, but just stay consistent, you constantly reevaluate. Like, there'll be every month I go back and I look at what my top performing content was, and I try to remake that, just because that's what people are responding to. That's what the outsider is looking for. So if you want to speak to your target audience, you want to find out what they're looking for, and then just stay consistent.
That little nugget right there that may have just went over some heads or through some ears, I want to reiterate that. So often we feel that we need to keep doing something different. We need to put out something new. We have this, it's a phenomenon. There's all kinds of phenomenons that happen within the human body, human experience, how we operate in life. One of the phenomenons is that we feel we get bored or tired of listening or seeing ourselves and think that we need to reinvent things all the time. When in reality, building a successful business is about embracing the mundane. It is about embracing the mundane. How does that play into building an audience and creating videos? Well, exactly what you just said. When you find something that works, just do more of it.
Yeah.
Just do more of it. Look at that bend. Look at that bend on the hat. I mean, that was some power behind that throw. Look at this show, for example. Okay. Look, my past self would have gotten bored with this. Now we're coming up on 1,000-ish episodes. We may have already breached, we may have already crossed that. I would have been bored with this couple of 100 episodes into it. I would have thought, oh, you know what? Need to switch it up. need to do something different, when in reality, you only get better as you do more. It only becomes better. It spreads to more people. And so the same thing is true with your videos. If you find something, maybe you have posted 200 videos, but there's definitely one or two in there that did much better than the others. I love that tip. Remake that style, remake that topic, talk about the same thing or damn near the same thing on every video. Yep. You don't need to entertain people. This is not a sitcom. This is not a Netflix series. Your page is a marketing page to educate, entertain, and market something. That's your goal. So you have to do what works and not feel like you owe people ongoing variety. And when we feel bored or we feel like, oh, they've heard me say this so many times, say it again. That goes with your story as well. How many times, Chelsea, have you told your story via email, via video in the past 6 to 12 months? And have you ever felt like, oh yeah, I mean, does this resonate with you? Hey, I'm tired of hearing this, but you know that you need to keep telling it, right? Yeah. Because every person that comes into your world needs to hear it, and they need to rehear it over and over and over and over again. Does that resonate?
Yeah. And I'm sure you know this, but a lot of other people don't. Like, marketing shows that people need to see something at least 7 times to make a purchase. Okay. Yeah. So that's why the email campaign is so important. And that is why showing up every single day on social media is so important. Just because someone opted into your email, most likely it is going to take them several days, weeks to actually make a purchase to whatever you are offering, because they need to warm up to you. They need to warm up to the idea. It's kind of like when you purchase something from Target or opt into their email. They send emails every single day. I know for me, like Lululemon will send me every single day an email about those leggings that I looked at. And finally, I'm just like, screw it, I'm buying it. Like, I love it. So that is what we are doing. We are showing people every single day what they've already asked for. And eventually they make a purchase or they opt out. And that's okay. Like, I have an email that says, if this is not for you and you are not interested, please opt out. Like, because I don't want to be sending emails to people that don't want to be there. I want to be sending emails to people that are my target audience. And like, I share every single day. I share 3 reels a day. One of my reels is my story. And like, I share it in a different way each time, but it's all the same story, right? Like, it sounds different and sometimes I refurbish, whatever you call it, a reel that I've done that's done well. Like, but I tell my story every single day. And my story is the ones that get the most engagement because so many people are burnt out. So many people are looking for financial freedom. And I try to tell people all the time, you don't have to be looking to leave your 9-to-5 job. Like, I was a part of a network marketing company for 4 years and made multiple 6 figures doing it alongside my 9-to-5. And this is a hell of a lot easier than network marketing. So you can keep a 9-to-5 and do digital marketing alongside your 9-to-5 if you don't want to leave. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, you have to want to leave like your corporate job. Like, that's not true at all. Like, it is so important and so smart to have different streams of revenue coming in. And this is, to me, the most simple way to do something alongside a busy 9-to-5.
I love that you said that. It's quitting your job is not required. As a matter of fact, in many cases, these skills can be a complement to what you're already doing. It can make you more successful at what you're already doing. You can add more value to your company. Does that resonate?
If I had in my sales job, if I had known, even my company, I could probably go like make a lot of money, like talking to like both of my old companies about this, but a funnel and an email campaign for both of my sales jobs would have made my life so much easier. I was pounding the phones. It was like $25 an hour, 4 hours a day, like it was. But if I had an email campaign that sent automated emails to everyone that I called, it would just have been a game changer. So yeah, I mean, you can apply this to anything.
Gwen's on. She was just on yesterday. Hi, Gwen.
Oh, I love Gwen.
So proud of you, Chelsea. So many wonderful comments from everybody for you, Chelsea. I hope you get a chance to go back. She just opened the bank vault. God. Oh, man. Totally agree. Great show this morning. Yeah, transferable skills, Elizabeth. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. And so often, we, instead of looking at competition it's such a powerful perspective and reframe to look at everything as collaboration.
Yes.
So this business and these skills and these business models and what I'm learning here does not need to compete with what I'm doing. I first need to see, can they collaborate at all, right? Can I collaborate these skills with my existing job? Can I become more valuable? Can I potentially earn more money doing what I'm already doing? Can I get a raise? Can I like my belief is like, don't leave something until you've absolutely maxed it out and squeezed every last drop out. If you have that perspective, then maybe quitting your job may not be such an urgent thing that you feel like you need, because you know what, you really haven't hit the ceiling. You really haven't maxed out that opportunity. Obviously that applies to everything you do in digital marketing, because the sky is the limit with this. What's coming up for you right now? I thought you were getting ready to say something.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think I was just breathing.
Okay. I was just talking about, of course, maximizing what you have already in your life. And you may not be at such a peaceful place that you were when you left your job. Others may be more torn. And so if you're torn and you feel like, oh, wow, quitting my job is going to really put me in a really, really tough financial situation, then first collaborate the skills that you're learning with what you're already doing. Like, please, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, so what I was going to say is I actually got an email from a guy the other day, and my story is like, I quit my 9-to-5 job. Right. And he's like, Chelsea, I don't want to leave my 9-to-5 job. So I don't think this is for me. And I emailed him back and I said, no, like, you do not have to leave your 9-to-5 job. Your story does not have to be mine. Like, if you want to do this and you are at least scrolling Instagram for 30 minutes to an hour, you could be monetizing it. And so we had a conversation, and he ended up, purchasing what I offer. And he has emailed me back saying how much he's learned, and then he's going to be applying it and doing it alongside of what he currently does. So, and that's why I kind of want to emphasize on that. Like, you don't have to leave your 9-to-5. Like, some people I'm actually trying, my husband works, he's actually at the company that I was with previously. He's been there like 16 years, he'll probably retire there because he just has a lot going on there. But I told him, I'm like, when you're ready, we're going to open you up an Instagram account and we are going to start you digital marketing. I'm like, I will manage it for you, just because it's so simple. I'm like, you need to do it, because he'd be great at it. So anyone can do this, anyone can do it. You just got to stay consistent, put your mind to it, and believe in yourself.
Yeah. These skills are really something that I think all people should know, or at least be aware of.
Yes.
And we're so often just using our phones to just scroll and consume other people's marketing. And when you make the shift from consumer to creator, you now set yourself up to at least know about. It's kind of like my marketing glasses, which I need to have as a prop permanently sitting here on the desk. But once you put them on, now you see the internet from a different perspective. And it's not just, as Gwen says, a scroll hole anymore. It's not just a place where you go to check out and to escape reality. It actually is. It still is that place for entertainment for you, but it is also a place that there's opportunity for you to get your slice of the pie. And that is how to capitalize on what some of these billionaires have done, like Mark Zuckerberg, who created the whole damn site, or Jeff Bezos, or any of the, Google, or any of these other founders. Okay, let me understand how the internet works. Let me start in a place that's easy and reasonable for a new person to start, which would be learning how to build an audience and sell other people's products first. And then if I want to pursue it more, then I can get into creating my own products, etc., using some of the other core 4 business models. But yeah, everybody owes it to themselves to at least learn these skills. What have you, besides the marketing skills, what have you learned about your potential throughout this process over the course of the last 6 to 12 months?
I mean, I just think that when you put your mind to something, that it can be achieved no matter what. Again, I think I came into this with like an overconfidence, just because I was so successful. So I was humbled, and I had to really take a look and say, okay, what like, I'm not great at marketing. Marketing isn't like, I was a sales rep. I wasn't marketing. So this was something that I had to learn to be good at. And it took time. It's take consistently. And like I started, like I remember I opened my Instagram account, I think July like 16th of last year. And it's been a humbling experience. And some people may look at my Instagram now and be like, oh my gosh, it's so big. Like it has been a humbling journey for me. And like what I've learned is that you can do things even if you're scared. You can do things even if you're not good at it. And don't compare yourself. I love what Gwen said yesterday. I had to unfollow a lot of people because I was constantly comparing myself. And I was there were some days where I was like, I guess I can't do this. And some days I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to my 9 to 5. But then I would do that manifestation. I would pray and be like, no, like I felt peace about leaving. I'm not going back. Like, just because my journey is different than someone else's doesn't mean that it won't be a successful journey. So don't compare yourself. And it is okay to unfollow someone, even if it is a great person, even if it is someone that is thriving. If someone doesn't give you peace that you are following and it makes you feel uneasy, like unfollow them just for your own sanity and peace. You don't want to follow someone that doesn't make you more fired up and excited. If you're like, oh man, he's doing so good and I just could never be that good, like maybe you just need to unfollow him for a little bit and then take a look into yourself and decide what's going to work for you. You don't have to like copy exactly what everyone else is doing. You don't need to compare yourself to everyone else's journey. Like, do you be yourself, and the people that are going to align with you will align with you. Like, I was talking to this woman, and I think she's in her 50s or 60s. And I loved hearing about her journey because I'm like, you are going to attract so many people that just wouldn't be like attracted to my page probably. And I love that. And even I've helped this older guy on board. He was a friend and he's like in his 50s. So I had him follow some pages of some amazing guys that are doing affiliate marketing. And I'm like, you guys are going to attract an audience that would never come to my page because they're not going to relate to me. So it's like who you are and your background, no matter how unqualified you may feel, someone else feels the exact same way. And that is going to be your person that you're going to align with. So whatever your story is, like, don't try to reinvent it. I'll say this, and then I know we're running out of time. Like for a while I was like, man, my story isn't that I was broke and I needed a job and this has changed my life. That just wasn't my story. And for a while I didn't feel like I had a good one because I was like, I came from crazy amount of money and left that. So I had to learn how to tell my story and say, I left multiple 6 figures for this. And it wasn't for the money. It was because I wanted peace and I wanted freedom. And no matter how much money you make, like you're not going to get time back with your family. And like, it makes me want to cry just because, I told my husband, I'm like, I want another kid. Our kids are getting too old. And now I can stay home with my baby if we have one. Whereas before I had a nanny at like 8 and 12 weeks at each kid. I didn't get to have that experience, because I was at a 9 to 5 job and like you only get so much like paid time off. So it's like this next go round, if he wants to, he's like, no way. But if we do end up having another one, like I have the benefit of being able to stay home. And that is the beauty of digital marketing. Like if you stay consistent, if you build a business, you are going to learn skills that could allow you to stay home. Whether you are a guy, whether you are a girl, whatever it is, like you could change your life and be able to spend more time with your family, which I know for me was my main reason for doing this.
Well, there you've got a deal to close right there with old Hubs, right?
Yeah.
He sounds like a pretty tough prospect.
He is. Yeah. We have very wild, active children, like our 6 and 7 year old. I mean, it is like having like an army of children. They are not like these calm, quiet kids. I mean, we have taekwondo every single day to get out energy. We like one of them's in all the sports. It's just busy, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, yeah. This has at least allowed me to have the option. Whereas in before, I would say heck no, like, but at least this is giving me the option.
No, I totally get it. I mean, how many of you parents can relate to the fact that having, if you had either you do have more time, if some of you are already experiencing that, or if you did have more time, what would you have done different? different? Like, how would they? And then you get into kind of the romancing of, well, yeah, like, I mean, I could have another one and have all this time. And, whether that's what you decide to do or not, the first person that gets more time is you. That's the first person. And sometimes, once we do get more time and sort of unplug from the, Gwen says, don't tell me, husband, he'll be asking for 5 more
So my
kids.
husband.
Damn.
I need to have your husband, Gwen, talk to my husband.
You're right. Connect them.
Give me all of the babies. I want them all.
So it's sometimes, I think, though, once we do get more time, what some of us might realize is, oh my God, like, I'm going to just like get out of survival mode for a little while. And there's going to be like some self-care that's going to be happening. There's going to be like some healing that's going to be happening. Like, for some of us, like, our work grind and survival mode that we've been in has been sort of we've medicated like all, like, the pain that we felt, whether that be physical or emotional, the pain that we felt. And once you kind of put that down, that numbing agent, which is that busy, crazy life where you're working all the time and you really don't have time to stop and think, because you got kids, you got soccer, and you got the dog, and you got the husband, and you got the wife, and you got, the job and all this, and you're working on nights and weekends, and you put that down, you take that away, at least the work piece, which, I mean, even if you're at minimum working 40 hours a week, like, that's a ton of time, because we all know that you don't leave your job at your job, you take it home. And you gotta be in that kind of like work mode, and it's hard to get out of that. So when you remove that numbing agent, I don't know about you, but there's a lot more room for self-care. There's a lot more room for healing. There's just a different sense of being when you go from survival mode to maybe not quite thriving yet, but at least you leave the survival mode, which is, whether you're financially successful or not, when you're hunting, when you're working, that is an element of survival mode. When you kind of remove that from your life, it opens up a lot of space. And maybe your dream becomes more children. Maybe your dream becomes healing. Maybe your dream becomes self-care. Maybe your dream becomes doing nothing. Maybe your dream becomes lots of naps.
And we're so accustomed to thinking. I mean, and I know for me, when I quit, it was really hard to like be calm, because I was so busy all the time. I was always working constantly, so like, I, even to this day, I am like, I'll go sit on the couch and read. I'm like, I should be doing something. And then I'll be like, no, this is why I'm doing this, so that I can go read a self-help book, or I can, whatever it is. I'm all about the self-help books. My husband jokes me, I have like a library of them. And like, I'm all about like reading and investing into myself. But I feel like it's just that brainwashed mentality of like, why shouldn't I be taking care of myself? Why shouldn't you be taking care of you? Like, that should be the most important thing, to take care of yourself, and just to like slow down. And I just cannot. Phil said, I take naps. I like cannot take naps. I literally can't. But I'm so excited about summer. Like, I told my kids, I'm like, do you guys want to do camps or stay home and we'll do the beach every day? They're like, we want to do the beach, because we live right at the beach. We bike ride. So it's like, I'm going to pack their breakfasts and we're going to do beach like all day, every day over the summer. And that's going to be like their memory, and their memory is going to be that, instead of being at camps all summer. So I'm really excited.
That's so sweet. And I just wonder how many of you could relate to that feeling of, if you sit down, you almost feel guilty.
I do. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people.
Anybody else relate to that? You sit down and you take a little bit of time for self, right? Whether you just sit down on the couch. When is the last time you sat down on the couch and felt shame and guilt-free? To just sit down on the couch and do nothing, right? Who relates to that piece? I think that's such a built-in part of our society is go, 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 busy, 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 sitting there eating your bonbons, relaxing, doing self-care, taking care of yourself is right. You don't want to be caught sitting down. You don't want to be caught relaxing, because then you're sitting down eating your bonbons, you're whatever. And it's like, damn, man, like, what's wrong with that? Like, there's something wrong with that.
Yep.
And many of us, as well as our predecessors, never really got a chance to be able to explore that. Like, what is that all about? Like, what is that? what is that whole feeling guilty and never being able to take, I mean, it's just an interesting, it's a phenomenon in our society. And it's one of those things that I think is one of those tired old lies that we, should never take time for self, and we should feel guilty whenever we're not busy, busy, busy. And I love that you're going to be spending so much more time. You're planning your summer. You already know what you're going to do. You're already talking about it with your kids. And that is half of the excitement of something like that, is the planning and anticipation of it, Chelsea, isn't it? It's like kind of like going on vacation, when you get to talk about it and plan it and be excited about it, and the kids have something to look forward to. Like, that's a healthy thing, is to have something to look forward to, and then also do everything that you can to enjoy it when it actually finally comes. I can imagine that fills your heart, and I see that all over your face as well. You seem peaceful, you feel happy, and I am just absolutely thrilled for you. Thanks for coming back on one more time, and I look forward to many more conversations with you in the future.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
All right, well, we will talk to you soon, hopefully for a third time. And if I don't talk to you before summer comes on Wake Up Legendary, enjoy it. All the best to you and your family. And stay legendary, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you later, Chelsea. All right, my friends, you can follow, support, learn from Chelsea over on Instagram at Chels_make money online. And that's spelled CHELS _make money online. Okay. Chels is CHELS_make money online. That's over on Instagram. What a powerful episode. What a powerful reminder. So many deep lessons and important things for us to hear this morning from her experience of leaving her job. What a big, huge leap of faith that was, to then realizing, oh no, I do still need and want to bring in money, and I want to be able to stay home. I want to be able to do this for a long time, not just for a time period. I want to be able to make this my lifestyle. And for her to get in to learn the skills. And it's been a huge transition, even though she was in sales, to learn marketing, because bless me. Sales and marketing are two different animals. They are. Sales is closing the sale. It's collecting the money. It's facilitating the transaction. Marketing is just educating people. It's really all it is. It's educating people. That's the difference. Sales is facilitating the transaction and collecting the money and helping somebody make a decision. Marketing is the education and the serving and the making sure. I mean, it's just that kind of customer service. It has nothing to do with sales. It's just all education. It's about getting people feeling warm and fuzzy about what it is that ultimately they're going to make a decision on buying, and just introducing, making it easy for them to access it, making sure they know where to go find it. Has nothing to do with closing or collecting money or helping them make a decision. It really doesn't. And so marketing it's hard sometimes for salespeople to wrap their head around that. And it's also hard for new people sometimes who think that marketing is sales. when it's not. It's just about edutainment. It's about making sure that people know where to ultimately find the thing if they want to take action now, or hey, no pressure, no rush. I just want to educate you so you are educated. And then when people get educated and they feel confident, they want to go find the thing. They desire it. That shift can be difficult for some people to make. But Chelsea's made it. You can make it as well. And you may not even need to unlearn a bunch of things if you do have a previous sales career. Some of you think, well, I'm not good at sales. I can't. Good. Yay. You're not good at sales. You don't have to unlearn anything. There's always a powerful perspective. And sometimes you might need help finding it. We'll help you find it. Everything that you need to be successful, you already have. You may need to unlearn some things. You may need to get a different perspective, but you already have that potential inside of you. It's some tweaks that you have to make. That's it along the way. Make sure to create positive, self-fulfilling prophecies, not negative ones. And if you do, you speak what you want into existence. You act as if you're supposed to be there. You're already successful. And then you take the actions. That's what creates success. With that being said, my friends, if you're looking to get started, 15-day challenge, enroll in our blueprints, come to a mastermind, go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll. That's ENROLL, legendarymarketer.com/enroll. And if you want a text message reminder in the morning before we go live, you can text WUL to 813-296-8553. Just put the letters WUL right where you would normally put the letters of your text, like, hey, good morning. And then send that, just those three letters, to 813-296-8553. We'll send you a nice little gentle, non-spammy text in the morning with a link to come over here and join us Monday through Friday, right here on Facebook for Wake Up Legendary. With that being said, thank you again, Chelsea. Amazing conversation, so inspirational, so just edutainment. It's what it was. It was entertaining. It was educational. Go and follow her over on Instagram at Chels_make money online. And with that being said, get out of here. Stay legendary. Have a great day. Peace.